We're just rolling with this one. Just turning the camera on, and I am talking. I don't want to put this in today's video because we like to have fun. We like to have fun on the Carpetbagger channel. We like to visit interesting places and fun things and keep a positive mood. What I have to say is very negative and not positive, and I'm super frustrated, and I do not cherish making videos like this. But I feel like, as someone that travels and as someone that experiences these things, that I kind of have a duty to report to you, my viewers, these experiences, because I am just I just blown away. And you know what? I think the person to blame here is me. I'll just start out with that, because what do they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And shame on me. That's what I need to say here. Shame on the Carpetbagger, because the Carpetbagger has been burned by Priceline.com so many times, yet keeps crawling back. It is a sad, abusive relationship, and it ends today. I will never use the Priceline product again. This is something that I have been using the entire time that I have had this channel. Through all my travels, I've always used Priceline. Even when I was just doing my very first road trips, I was using Priceline. And I learned some harsh lessons early on. Basically, if you make a reservation through Priceline, you can't cancel it. It doesn't matter. Life happens, whatever. You get a flat, you have a death in the family. It doesn't matter. The global pandemic doesn't matter. You're still going to have to pay for all those Priceline rooms you booked before you knew that we were going to have a global pandemic. So some harsh lessons, and I keep getting stung, keep putting my hand on the stove and getting burned, but thinking like, okay, it's a bad company, it's a bad product, but man, they get you some cheap hotel rooms. And I kept crawling back because I'm like, man, I pulled up and I'm like, yes, these prices can't be beat. And so I continued using it. I stopped bringing it up on the channel because I did not want to endorse them in any way, because I knew how shady they were. I knew how they took advantage of the situation. But I figured that I'd figured out their system. I figured I could work in the parameters of their system. I'm an experienced traveler. I book hotel rooms every night, and I can find a way to get these good prices without having to without getting stung. Kept getting stung. But there's been back-to-back issues that have been completely egregious. So one happened today, one happened a couple months ago. So we start with the first one. This happened on my road trip, my Route 1 Bowie to Bowie road trip. I had a hotel booked, a room booked at something called the I think the Pegasus Hotel in Key West. It was a good price, right in the middle of everything, seemed great. Then the issue came. Jen couldn't come, so there was already like issues. I had called them, and so this whole system stinks. This isn't just Priceline. This is the whole system. So I called the hotel. I said, explain the situation. My girlfriend got in a car accident. She's not able to make it down here. I still want to stay, but I want to shorten the time that I stay. We were going to spend a week there. I just want a day or two so I can film and get back home. And they said, sorry, no, we're not going to do that. And I explained the situation again. And this is just, it's a front desk person I'm talking to. They're not really the one that gets to make the decision. I called I asked, could I speak to the manager, the hotel manager? And they said, well, you can try, but she doesn't return phone calls. So the front desk person told me, anyone with authority to make decisions at this hotel doesn't return phone calls. And this turns out to be very true, by the way. I left several messages, never heard anything. And I was supposed to stay there until, it was a matter of like having to suck it up and stay there. But then I get, I'm still kind of in the middle of the decision-making process. What am I going to do? Am I just going to check in and check out early and eat the rest of the days? And then they send me an email that says, my room is no longer available. They can't accommodate me, and to contact Priceline to get new accommodations made. So I called Priceline, and even though I got this email from Priceline, I was still charged the full amount for the hotel. The hotel that told me that, no, you can't come. We don't have rooms for you. I got charged for the entire week. And oh my gosh. So I probably called Priceline at least 6 dozen times trying to work this issue out. I'm like, listen, I was told my room was not available. I was still charged for this room. And I don't think that's right. I don't think I should have to pay for somewhere I didn't stay. So they're like, okay, well, we'll kick it up to this person and we'll call you back. No call back. Call back. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do something, blah, 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 blah. And then we're gonna email you. No email. So probably 6 times calling. And keep in mind, like every time I call, this is like 30 to 45 minutes of wait time. So I'm, I could be out filming. I could be out doing my job. I could be spending time with my family. I could be doing something besides sitting on the phone. And they don't let you do callbacks. If you talk to a supervisor, you have to just wait. And oh my goodness. I'm getting mad. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep the mood light and airy, even if I am talking about stuff that upsets me. So this happens over and over again. I could repeat it, but it's the same thing. Call, or we're going to kick it up the line. And then they use this weird language, like we're going to talk to our supplier, whatever. I'm like, what does that even mean? And then we're going to get back to you and we'll make a decision. Like, okay, I don't know what other decision you can make. They told me I couldn't stay there, and then they still charged me. So this goes on. This was like 2 months ago, the last time I talked to someone before today. And I was just so downhearted about it that I just wanted to just forget about it. Like, it was taking so much time out of my life, so much energy, getting angry, being angry, getting frustrated, calling. It was having a negative effect on my mental health and my life. And I'm like, I'm going to end up chasing this money forever. They're never going to give it to me. And I'm going to end up just getting upset over and over and over again. And I trying to think. I have used Priceline once or twice on this trip. I kind of, I'm literally ashamed to admit that. Like, I just heard the words I said, and now I'm saying I used them again. It's like, am I like an addict or something? Do I like the punishment? So this is the part. Shame on me. Never, ever, ever should have used Priceline after that incident. But I did, because I was tempted by the low hotel prices. And it's just what I was used to. So the other day, I went to book a hotel. And it was the Sequim Bay Lodge. And I got everything ready, hit book it, and then I got an error message. Sorry, we can't process this reservation at this time because there was a change in price. I go back. It was a major change in price. I think $80 or more change in price. So I'm like, well, I'll find somewhere else. And I did. Found somewhere else, booked it on Priceline. Today, I go to check my reservation, and there are 2 reservations there. I have been booked and charged for this reservation that they told me I couldn't make. I got an error message. You can't do this because the price changed, and I have 2 hotels, and they both are past, because today they're both supposed to check in today. They're both past their refund period. So I called someone today, and to me, I don't know why I thought this. I'm like, surely this isn't going to be a big deal. I never made the reservation. Like, right? Am I wrong? I got an error message, told me I couldn't make the reservation. I assumed the reservation was not made. Maybe I should have, I get behind my email. Maybe I should have checked to see if I got a confirmation email. I think it's logical that I didn't think I was going to be charged, and I was. So, first they tell me, and listen, this is just a statement of fact. This is not a criticism of anyone. You had talked to someone from a call center. They don't always speak English as a first language. Some of them are excellent speakers. Some of them are pretty good. But a lot of times, between someone having a little bit of difficulty with English, plus just being on the phone, not being able to hear them as clearly, it just makes it difficult to hear. And again, not criticizing anyone. I think anyone that can speak more than one language is amazing. I only speak one language, and I have trouble with that. So I'm not criticizing that in any way. But I'm just saying that it adds to the stress of trying to decipher what's going on. Not only, it always feels like they're like talking to you through a tin can, and then plus if they have that heavy accent, that adds to it. So it was very hard to figure out. I explained the situation twice, and they said they were going to speak to someone. Again, they kept talking about, like, we're going to call our supplier. I'm like, what? I don't know what that means. And the lady came back, and she's like, well, you're just going to have to wait. We're going to try to get... I'm like, listen, I didn't book a room. This shouldn't be like a debate, like, of where I'm going to get my money back. I didn't make this reservation, so I don't think that I should be I should be responsible for it. And then at one point, after telling my whole story at least twice, she said, what do you mean you didn't book this reservation? I'm like, I didn't book it. I walked her through very slowly, trying to keep my calm. Walked her through it. I explained it, what happened again. And again, I don't want to throw like the phone answering employees under the bus, because they're not the ones that are perpetrating anything here. They are given instructions that they follow. They have a thing look down. They're probably not allowed to make any decisions. They just funnel you, and then they have to, and you know what? I don't want to get completely off track with the story here, but well, let me go back to the story, and then I'm going to give my thoughts about that. So put a pin in that. So eventually I asked to speak to a supervisor. The supervisor talks to me, and again, it's pretty much the same story. It's like, we got to talk to our supplier. And finally I'm like, who is your supplier? And she's like, well, I can't tell you that. And I'm like, okay, what is a supplier? And she said that they work with other companies, and they buy their like theoretical hotel stays from another party. So Priceline is already a third party. Apparently they're a fourth party, because you got the hotel owner, you got someone that buys their hotel rooms, and then they sell them to Priceline. So in order for me to get permission, they have to ask their suppliers and wait They said they can't call the suppliers, they can only email them. That's the rules. Again, this is the creation of a system that's intentionally difficult for everyone involved. So I'm trying to get you guys, there's a lot of repetition here. I was on the phone for almost an hour. A lot of repetition, me just trying to understand what's going on. And again, I'm like repeating, I did not make this reservation. I was charged a reservation I did not make. And they're, well, I'm sorry, sir, we got to follow, this is our procedure, blah, 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 blah. They can't do anything. So I called, and I'm actually, when I got up with her, she's like, basically telling me I have to wait for the supplier to get back, and then they can issue a refund if the supplier gives the okay. This mysterious supplier that I'm not allowed to know the name of, that gets to make all, literally, there's some shadowy company that is not Priceline, that Priceline has to ask to get permission to give me a refund I made from a hotel, the Sequoia Bay Lodge in Washington. So that's how many, that's how much red tape. And again, this is intentional. This is not just a coincidence that there's this much red tape. I'm not trying to conspiracy theories is. I think it's plain as day. So I bring up my first issue. I'm like, listen, this is the second time that I have been majorly taken advantage of. And I want to enter. I'm very upset. I'm very upset. I literally feel like I've been robbed. I really feel like someone went into my bank account and stole my money. And honestly, I can't say that they didn't. I'm not a lawyer, but from my understanding, is that not criminal? To take money? I understand if it's a clerical error, something gets messed up, stuff happens. But when someone points this out, that this happened, I feel like it should be taken care of immediately. That's bad. If someone got charged a large amount of money that for a reservation that they were told did not go through, I feel like it should be dealt with. I don't know. So afterward, I called the Sequoia Bay Lodge and I explained I had 2 reservations. They seemed like they were going to help me. Oh, you got 2 reservations? Well, let me correct myself. I told them the whole situation. Once they found out that my my other hotel reservation was not with them, they said, go cancel your other place. Oh, well, I explained the situation. They're like, not our problem. They did it. We're not canceling it. We're not giving permission to cancel it. That's it. So Sequoia Bay Lodge, thanks for the help out there. You can put that on the list of places that I would never ever stay ever. But let me talk a bit, and I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. Let me talk a bit about what's going on here, and that is they have created a situation. And they're not the only ones. I've had similar situations dealing with my health insurance, where they have created a system that is intentionally hard to navigate. You may say I'm an idiot, and you may be right, but I travel a lot. I use these programs every day. So if I use them all the time and they're this unreliable and this, taking this much money from me, I can just imagine, someone maybe doesn't get to go on vacation a lot, someone doesn't get to leave a lot, they got, and they use a product like Priceline, and then they get something like this happens to them because they didn't realize how the system worked. So you got, these workers, these frontline workers that are not given any tools to actually get anything done. They can submit requests. They can't, you can't just get on the phone with the supervisor. The supervisor I got on was basically just giving me the same information. I feel like when I say the money was taken against my will, against my consent, I feel like that should be sir, we're going to fix this for you. But that's not what happened. Like I said, there's an organization, a shadowy organization that they have to deal with that you don't get to know about, that they need to get permission to give you a refund on your hotel room that was booked by a technological glitch. I mean, and I'm sorry, I'm upset. Maybe you guys think that I'm whining, I'm complaining. That's fine if you guys think that. I'm letting it out here. This is why I'm doing an unedited video. That's why I'm not putting it in as part of the Pacific Coast Highway series. But I want to put this out there. I just want to put this out there, yell to the rooftops. And what I am yelling is, do not use Priceline under any circumstances. This is 2 occasions where I feel like, I have, now at this point, I've had over $1,000 stolen from me. And yes, I say stolen. I believe this is criminal. Like, I believe it is criminal. I could be wrong. It could be not criminal. Maybe I don't understand, but I don't understand how it's legal. Let me just put it that way. I do not understand how it is legal to take someone's money under false pretenses and to keep it. Like, someone's keeping the money. Is it Priceline keeping the money? Is it the shadowy suppliers that are keeping the money? So here's what I tell you. If you do want to use Priceline, here's what you do. You look to find hotels with good prices, and then contact the hotel. Contact the hotel. Go to the hotel's website. Call the front desk. Call the front desk. Ask them. Say, hey, Priceline, Priceline wants to charge me this. I'd rather just give the money all to you. So can you give me a good deal? Priceline's it's a toxic business model to begin with. It's not good for hotels, because really all it's doing is just taking their cut of the hotel. Really, this whole process should be a transaction between a human being, me, and the hotel that I wish to stay at. Why there is 2 other parties involved in that, I don't know. And I'm ashamed of myself for participating in whatever this is. Whatever this is, I am ashamed for taking part in it, because it's gross, it's yucky, and most of all, I'm embarrassed with myself because I have been stung over and over and over again by this company, and I keep coming back. And I need to put a firm rule down that I am not coming back. No matter how much more I have to pay for a hotel room, at least I can know that that it's a transaction between me and the hotel. Priceline's not getting their cut. Priceline, again, an organization that exists to confuse you, to get you into booking something that you cannot get your way out of, that your money's already taken, and that you will never see again. Life is uncertain. Things get canceled. Things doesn't happen, especially, with Jen and her health problems. Personally speaking, it doesn't make sense for me to book non-refundable hotel rooms when, especially when I'm traveling with her, because, it could change. You wake up and not be able to go. So, and I know a lot of people, live like that, where they're not able to necessarily do everything as planned. I'm incredibly lucky that I'm of good health, and that is very rarely do I have to change plans. But, spread the word around. Spread the word. Tell people, don't use Priceline. Feel free to share this video anywhere you like. I would love to see Priceline go away, because I feel like it's just so negative in how it works, how it operates. I equate it to like overdraft fees, where a bank gives you a service, but really that service is designed to milk money from you. And that's all the Priceline is there for, they know that people's plans are going to change, that things are going to happen, and then they're going to keep the money for their hotel. So someone may have been planning on taking their family for a vacation. Doesn't matter. There's a death in the family. There's car problems. Something else happens. They cannot get their money back, and they're just screwed. And that is a yucky business model. As far as other similar hotel apps, I really don't know. And I would love to hear you guys leave comments in the comment section. Have you had any other bad experiences with Priceline? Please leave them in my comment section. Or have you had good experiences with any of the other companies? I'm willing to I mean, I'm going to try from now on to deal directly with hotels. But if there is an app out there that is more honest, that is more easy to deal with, leave a comment about that in the comment section. If, especially the whole, like, if there's a problem, can they fix it or will they not fix it? Is there a shadowy organization telling them they can't fix it? Which, again, that whole thing is just, there probably is a company, but it's an excuse. It's an excuse to not give you a refund when you deserve a refund. I mean, going 2 months without calling me, without an email, a phone call, when they're supposedly working on an issue, and then, today when I talked to them, it was just a dead end. It was just sitting there. Nothing was being done. So leave comments in the comment section. Am I alone here? Let me know these experiences you've had with Priceline. And of course, good experience. If you had a good experience with Priceline, you can share that as well. But if you've had a good experience with other motel apps, leave those down below. And we will. All right. So I'm upset, but I try to keep things into perspective. Lost money, it's just money. It's just money. I hate losing money, and again, it's just money, and I will, I'll work hard, try to earn it back. So thank you guys for listening. Again, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. And if you guys have any other suggestions, travel suggestions, I'm open up, because I want to try to broaden my horizons when it comes to how I handle myself, the booking of hotels and things like that. So help me out. Leave a comment. Thank you guys. This is just an extra video that I wanted to put out. This is not, there'll still be another video tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me on this Pacific Coast Highway road trip. So there'll be a new video tomorrow. I will see you then. Until then, this one is in the bag.